Hello, everyone. Today is Tuesday, my goodness, Thursday, August 6th. We started out our day with our calendar, Thursday, August 6th, so I traced the number 6. You will have a calendar in your new packet that you come to pick up. Your calendar will look a little bit different. Mine has the numbers that I can trace. Yours will just be an empty box so you can write your own numbers, because I know that you're an expert at writing your numbers, so you can write your own numbers without tracing them. The one that Miss Kennedy printed out just happened to be the tracing version. So then after we did that, we did sharing. Tomorrow's sharing is Luke, Eli, JR, Yuvraj, Caroline, Jackson, Sarah, and Khadijah. Then we watched a video that came from one of Mr. Smith, our counselor's friends, who's another counselor at Cray Elementary. She told us all about being a successful first grader and what we can do in the morning to make sure that we are ready for the day, and then also things that we need to have. That way we are ready and prepared for every lesson that Mrs. Kennedy gives. Then we did a activity with the poster behind me. We had problems on this side, and we came up with solutions to those problems. So let me get in closer. The first problem was your iPad is very low on battery. What could you do to solve that, or what solution could you do to solve that problem? Our solution was to charge it. Next problem, your pencil broke. The solution is to either get a new one or sharpen it. What about if you aren't sure what to do next? Mrs. Kennedy gives a lot of things for you to do over Zoom, and sometimes things get lost, and we're like, oh, Mrs. Kennedy said something, but I don't remember what it is. So if you're not sure what to do next, you can either sit and be patient and wait for the next instruction, or you can ask Mrs. Kennedy if I've already given the instruction, you've forgotten it. The next one is, you get to a tricky word in your book. We came up with some good solutions. We would solve that by sounding out the word, or if it's too challenging, can ask someone to help you. There are two more down here. You have a question for your teacher. How would you solve that? We came up with a step-by-step what we do over Zoom. We raise our hand, we wait to be called on, and then we unmute and ask our question. Perfect. What if you really need to go to the bathroom? Or I added to this one, you really need to get a drink of water. If we are Zooming and you need to go to the bathroom or you need to get a drink of water, just go. You don't even have to ask. Just go and get it. Because you're at home, you have the luxury of going to the restroom and getting a drink of water whenever you need it. After we did that, we listened to the story of Splat the cat, who had lots and lots of problems, or what he thought were problems. And a lot of those problems had very simple solutions to them. So we turned to our in-class Zoom activity packet. We did a lot today. And we turned to the page that said problems and solutions. So under the problems box, there are two of them. We came up with two problems that we might run across when we're on Zoom. One could be that your pencil broke. And our solutions for that, again, were 1, get a new one, or 2, you can sharpen it. This one's a really important one because we're at home. There are other people in our house with us. So it can be a little bit too loud sometimes. So the video that we watched at the very beginning with Mr. Smith's friend, who is also a counselor, she gave us the great idea to wear headphones. This is a great solution if it gets too loud, because if you're listening to your headphones, all you hear is Mrs. Kennedy over Zoom. All you hear are your instructions and what we're doing for the day and the stories that we're listening to if you're wearing your headphones. And then we went to recess. We did listen to a little song that told us how to solve problems. I will link that. After recess, we came back, and I went over this sheet that I made. You don't have this. It said first graders can, have, are, will, and need. And then I went over one example. Well, we did two because someone else gave another example. First graders can read and write. First graders have books. First graders are, and then we came up with a bunch of things. First graders are happy, smart, kind. Hey, sorry. Again, first graders are, we made a whole list. Happy, smart, kind, helpful, funny, talented, hardworking. Ooh, here's some of our rules for our class. Responsible and respectful. And we said first graders will learn. First graders need a teacher. So, after we came up with some examples of what first graders are, we started our first graders are and aren't flip book. So, there was a page in your packet that looks like it's got those flip books on it. It looks like, let me get one that I haven't cut up yet. You had to flip through a couple pages and it looks like this. It says are and aren't. So first what I did, listen very carefully, is I cut along the dotted line all the way around. So the big rectangle dotted line all the way around. I did that. And then I folded my paper along this thick black line. So because it was cut out, I could fold the paper. So now I got this little part right here that's folded. After I folded it, I cut this dotted line all the way across and stopped at the black line because I don't want to cut it all the way. I want it to still be attached. And then once it was attached still, it looked like this, and it was like kind of like a Pac-Man because you could open it right here. It was Pac-Man. It looked like it had a mouth from the top to the bottom. And then I picked a page in our packet. You can pick which one you want to do. Either the first graders with the short hair or the first graders with the long hair and the bow. You pick which one you want to do. I chose this one, so I'm going to show you what it looks like on this one. At one point it says glue flip book here. So all along this very long rectangle, I put glue. And it matched up with the very long rectangle on our are and aren't part that we cut out. And so I glued that down. And once I glued that down, you can flip it open, and now it's a flip book. And then we went through and wrote our list of what we said. Remember when we brainstormed what first graders are? We wrote all those words down here. Hardworking is one word, didn't mean to put a dash. I told you incorrectly, hardworking. So that's what I try to connect the words. After we did that, we went through and just talked about what first graders aren't. So we just said the opposite of all these words. So the opposite of happy. So first graders are happy. First graders aren't sad. First graders are kind. They aren't mean. First graders are helpful, which means that they think about other people and do things for other people. They aren't selfish and do things only for themselves. First graders are hardworking. They're not lazy. First graders are responsible, and they aren't irresponsible. First graders are respectful. They aren't disrespectful, right? So we just talked about it. So yours will look like this. You'll flip it open, and you'll have all the words that you wrote. And you'll flip open the bottom, and it's still empty because all we did was talk about it. If you want to challenge yourself and challenge your spelling, you can write all the opposite words that we talked about down here if you want, but you don't have to. And then gave time for kids to color. And after we did that, I went over what the independent work was for the day, which is just another page of writing, whatever the next day is for you, maybe day 6, maybe day 7. And then on the 120 chart, do another line or do another chart. I want one done every single day. So either I want one line done every single day, or I want one chart done every single day, because I know that they're capable of doing it. And then this last page, you'll have to flip pretty far through the packet to find this one. I wanted to continue doing counting and writing the answer in the box, because we're going to get to addition soon where we do part, whole. So this is a part and this is a whole, but we'll tell them how to do that later. How many stars? I went through and counted, and there were 14 stars. So I put the answer in the box. So just like the last couple days, that's how you're going to do it. You're going to count how many things you see in the picture and then write your answer in the box. And your homework is always to read for 20 minutes. And don't forget to stop by either today or tomorrow to pick up your new packets and your textbooks that you're going to need for next week. And I think that's it. All right, thank you. Bye.